it's your girl Shay back with another video. Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm gonna be coming at y'all with a snake related video. This is a new type of video. I've never done anything like this on my channel, but today you guys will be meeting my snake. This is the first time I've shown her on my channel. Y'all are gonna get to meet her today. I'm going to answer some questions about her as well as some commonly asked questions about ball pythons. Before we get into the video, make sure you give this a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel and turn on that post notification bell so you're notified every time I post a new video. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So the first question is, what is her name? Her name is Aphrodite. The next question is, how did I come up with her name? So I did a lot of Google searching and it was like stupid names like Bubbles, Pebbles, you know, things like that. And no, those names aren't stupid. Sorry if I offended anyone because I know someone may have that name for their pet. But personally, I just didn't feel like that name was like personal to me. It didn't stick with me. It didn't pop out at me. So I chose to go with Aphrodite. And I remembered like when I was in about 8th grade, so middle school years, I was super into Greek mythology and Aphrodite just rang a bell and it stuck because she's exotic and she's beautiful and she just deserves the name Aphrodite. So that is why I chose that name for her. So who is Aphrodite? Aphrodite is the goddess of love and beauty, and yeah, she's so beautiful and I love her. So that is a perfect name for this little girl right here. So yes. So next question is, what is her gender? Honestly, I'm not 100% sure, but I believe that she's a female, hence the name Aphrodite. And why do I think this? Because of her tail. So her tail is a little bit thinner and shorter like most females tend to be. I'll insert a picture showing y'all how people sex snakes with their tails. But yeah, she has the characteristics of a female snake in her tail. So that told me that she's a female. What is her breed? I've said this multiple times now, but she is a ball python. She's just the standard color. I didn't go with anything too crazy. She's just the regular morph. Just the regular old ball python. So how old is she? She's about 8 months. When I first got her, the people at the pet store said she was a couple months old, but they weren't completely sure of her age. I got her on October 3rd, so I'm just counting from then. I've had her for 8 months, so I like to say that she's 8 months old. Her birthday is on October 3rd. Yes, she's 8 months old. Why did I get a snake? Originally, I wanted a dog, but my dad said his house, his rules, and he said no dog. So I really wanted a pet to put my love into. I was just going through a lot at the time and I wanted an animal, something that I could put my heart and soul into. And at my job, there's this guy who comes in all the time with a snake, and I just, you know, it just clicked in my head and I was like, let me do a bunch of research on snakes. Originally, I was gonna go with the corn snake because they said they were like one of the best beginner snakes, but the guy at the pet store persuaded me to get a ball python and I'm very happy that I did because I love her. She's so easy to keep. But yeah, I did a bunch of research on her and I went with the ball python. So that is why I got my snake, because my dad told me I couldn't get a dog and I wanted some type of animal that I could put my love and my heart and my soul into. So how much did she weigh when I first got her? I weighed her about 2 months after I got her. So in December, she was 3.3 ounces. And I haven't weighed her recently, but I will weigh her again today and I will insert that into the video. Okay, for the weight portion of the video, if anyone was wondering, I weigh her on this Weight Watchers food scale. I use this for food. Don't judge me, I have Clorox wipes, but I just put her in this little bucket and I weigh her this way. She is 8.3 ounces. So that is a very large weight increase from when I first got her. She is making so much progress and she's getting so big. I'm so proud of her. I am a proud snake mom and I love this child with all of my heart. Okay, next question is, what is it like keeping a snake? It's actually very easy keeping a snake. They're very low maintenance pets. All they really need is their tank, a few hides, and some water. And honestly, you can leave them alone. They like to be left alone, in fact. This is not the type of animal that you need to pull out and handle every day. You don't have to take them for walks. All you really need to do, feed them about once a week, handle them. Yes, you want to get acquainted with your animal. You want your animal to begin trusting you. Just give them water, food, the necessities. That's all they really need for a good survival, a good home, you know. Snakes are very simple animals. So how often do I feed her? I feed her once a week, and currently she's eating large mice from PetSmart. I first started her on pinkies, and then she went up to small mice, and then to medium mice, and now she's currently on large mice. She's getting very big, and I will be inserting pictures from each month from October until now, which is June, of all of her growth progress, because she has grown so much since I first got her. The next question is, was it ever difficult to feed her? Yes and no, because when I first got her, ball pythons are very notoriously known for being picky eaters, and she was a very picky eater at first. She would not eat, and it took me a while to get her on a good feeding regimen. She eats once a week now, so she's doing very well. She's being a really good girl, but at first she was not eating. And I feed her frozen thawed, so I buy them frozen from the pet store and then thaw them out in like sink hot water. And she was not taking the food at first. So what I did was I went to like the pet store and I got the bedding that is in the mice cages, in the live mice cages that they sell for pets or for whatever people buy them for. And I roll the mouse around in that bedding before I feed it to her, and she thinks it's a real live mice. So that changed her feeding response a lot. She eats once a week. She still doesn't eat when she's in shed, and I figured that out, so I just don't even attempt to feed her while she's shedding. But she's a very good eater now. All it takes is some consistency, and your snake will begin to eat on a weekly basis. Also, when I first started feeding her, just the anticipation of her strike was very scary to me. Like, I was so scared. I did not know what to expect when feeding a snake because she strikes very fast and very unexpectedly. I'm getting a lot better. Ooh. I'm getting a lot better. Ooh. I'm getting a lot better at reading her body language, so I know when she's about to strike, and I fed her a bunch of different times now, so it's a lot easier to feed. But those first couple times, the strike may startle you, it may scare you, but don't worry, use tongs so you don't get your hands bitten, and you'll be fine. So now I'm gonna answer some commonly asked questions about ball pythons in general. Where are ball pythons found in the wild? They're found in Western to Central Africa, just north of the equator. They're found in grasslands and open forests and in areas with some water. So I did not know that off the top of my head. I was looking down on my iPad because I wanted to give y'all the most correct answer possible for that one. How long do ball pythons live? Typically 30 through 40 years. If they're in the wild, they're gonna live on the lower 30-year mark, but in captivity, they may make it up to 40 years. So this pet is definitely a long-term investment, a very long-term investment, a 30 to 40-year investment. So that is definitely something you should consider before getting a ball python. It's different for different snake breeds, but for ball pythons, it is 30 to 40 years and even longer in captivity. Next question is, how big do ball pythons get? They average around 3 to 5 feet. Females tend to get on the bigger side, so on the 5-foot side, and males tend to stay on the smaller side, so around the 3-foot range. And if my predictions are right, she's a female, so she will get on the bigger side. And the last question is, how long does it take ball pythons to reach their full adult size? In captivity, it takes about 3 years, and in the wild, it takes about 5 years. So as you can see, in captivity, they have a better chance of survival, and also they grow a lot faster because they're on weekly feeding regimens. In the wild, they have to rely on catching their food, and also there's a lot more danger in the wild that makes them more susceptible to dying. All right, so that's it for the video. Now I'm just going to insert a bunch of pictures from each month so you guys can see her growth and progress. video. Thanks for sticking around and making it to the end. If you haven't already, thumbs up this video and subscribe down below because it really helps my channel. And also turn on the post notification bell so you get notified every time I post a new video. Once again, thank you for watching. Bye! Yep, okay. Okie dokie. Get out of my hair, child. Please.